Hey, thanks for clicking that play button and checking out our video, How to Quickly and Effectively Hang Chair Rail. Okay, to get started, we've set our rotary laser on top of our mantle there, and you can see the laser actually flashing. What we do then is we measure the distance from our laser beam to the height of the existing chair rail. We then use that distance to transfer to the wall our new marks where the new chair rail will continue on. Once you've made some light pencil marks at the outside and inside corners of the walls, what you'll want to do is you'll want to strike lines with a string line. Your best bet is to use a wipeable chalk, something that is a dust away chalk. You could look for that in your big box store. They should have something. It'll leave zero residue, zero marks on your wall. If you use something like a red chalk, you'll be stuck with an indelible mark that might even need priming and painting to get rid of. So go with a dust away chalk. If you can't find dust away chalk, a suitable replacement for that is use some talcum powder. Okay, once all your lines are struck, the best way to get started is to basically hold in place your molding on the wall and mark your first outside corner, like we're doing here. Because we're going to be coping our inside corners, we can just run a full piece of chair rail into the wall, mark for our first 45-degree cut. Your cut may be different in degree, but we have a 45-degree cut here, so that's what we're marking for. All right, so when making your outside corner, you're going to want to glue. Glue, glue, glue. A lot of people will tell you it's not a necessary step, and it might not be, but if you want your molding to last a lifetime, you want it to look as good on, day 10,000 as it does on day 1, you're going to want to glue that outside corner. You're going to apply one application of glue to each side of the 45-degree cut. Okay, so that means on each piece of molding, you're going to apply a thin layer of glue. The proper way would be to then allow the end grain of the molding, if you're using wood, to absorb that first layer, then seal off the end grain. Then apply a second thin layer of glue, and that's what will make your bond. That second layer of glue will make the bond between the moldings. Once you put the molding in place, you're going to pin it or use brad nails to join mechanically that joint together. But as that glue cures, the chemical bond will be far stronger than the mechanical connection of pins or brads. All right, you're ready to apply some adhesive to the back of the chair rail. I'll put a thin bead, but enough that it will actually make contact to the wall. All right, you're going to start to hang your chair rail. We're running our first piece into existing chair rail, so we're going to make our first outside corner. And when I say make our first outside corner, what I mean is we're going to join the profiles together so that the joint, the outside joint, is perfect. Once your outside corners are perfectly aligned, you're then going to mechanically fasten those outside corners. We use a pin nailer. All right. Okay, moving along, we're going to hang our third new piece of chair rail. The third piece starts in an inside corner. And to have a proper joint at an inside corner, you're going to want to use a coped cut there. For instructions on how to properly make an inside coped cut, refer back to our video, DIY, How to Cope an Inside Corner. We talk about why you should cope that inside corner, the benefits, and the longevity of that inside corner, and how, even though it takes a longer time to cut an inside corner that's coped, it actually will speed installation for you. So when installing this inside coped corner, you're going to want to make sure that the molding is just perfect. Not too small, but not too large. You want to be able to bend the molding in the center to fit it in place, so then when it actually pushes, for instance, in this application, the inside corner's to the left, and it's meeting a mantle at the right. We've cut the molding just large enough that there's some spring left to the molding when it's being installed. That spring pushing against the mantle will then also force the inside corner in to the existing molding that's already there. It's going to create an incredibly, incredibly tight fit that will need minimal filling and will provide for a better finish. And that's why you cope inside corners, cuz. Because that ain't never opening up. Once it's been adjusted, fine tuning has happened, you then want to come back with your finish or brad nailer and then mechanically fasten it. But like I said, the adhesive that you applied will do the permanent bonding. Our next piece here, we start by just having two flush cuts on either end. One butts up against the mantelpiece, the second runs into the wall. We could put this in place, have some spring pressure push into the wall, and then we're ready to run our next piece with, again, another inside cope cut. You can see the spring pressure being released. The molding holds in place. We're ready for brad nails. When it comes to measuring your molding, for outside corners or where your molding is going to butt up against casing or some other type of molding, you basically could throw away your tape measure. The best way to get an exact measurement is to hold your molding in place. Just wait
it is. That's a good mark.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Make your cut. Apply your adhesive. Fit into place. Put your mechanical fasteners in. Here we're showing you an example of a proper way to dead end a molding, maybe in the center of a wall or a place where you're butting up to a molding that doesn't match. In this application, our molding is running into a null post, so there's no way for it to dead end into the null post. So what we've done is we've created a return where the profile turns into the wall and dead ends, and it reveals the actual profile of the molding. Creates a great effect and really, really looks super finished that way. Once again, you can see the adhesives, the glues. I can't stress this enough. The mechanical fasteners are basically a temporary way of holding the molding in place until the adhesives and glue dry. When finishing an inside cope corner, if you need to make any fine-tuning adjustments to the molding, you're going to want to carry around in your back pocket a couple of files. Good old-fashioned files will make all the difference. All right, our last piece of chair rail is in place. All that's left is to add our return. All right, that's dead. Boom. This chair rail is hung and done and hung well. So that about sums it up. How to quickly and effectively hang chair rail. DIY. We hope you learned something and you liked this video. If you do, make sure you smash that like button, comment, and subscribe for more videos just like this one. If you dislike this video, you know what to do. And as always, thanks a lot and have a great day.